Hi everyone. I was asked to make a tutorial on making paper tassels. I'm no expert at this. It's just something I like to do every now and again, but I'll do my best. This is for you, Tammy. Now, I cut my papers to make the tassel on my Cricut machine. And they come out beautifully. They're so nice and even. And this is 8.5 inches long and about 2.25 inches this way, 8 inches this way. I can't change the size of it because it's an SVG file I got from someone else online, and you're not allowed to change the size. So that's the only size I can do on my Cricut. They come out perfectly even, which is beautiful. But on this one that I cut out on the Cricut too, you'll see that it doesn't quite cut to the end. So you have to pull every piece apart. That's a little bit of a pain, but nothing compared to if you have to cut out your whole paper by hand, which I've done many times as well. And I'll show you how to do that. So this one is the same size as the purple one, 8.5 long, about 2.25 high. These are just scrap papers that I'm using. So this is another piece of scrap paper, and this one I'm doing by hand. So this one is 12 inches long and 2 3/4 deep this way. And this one I have to cut by hand. Now I've done most of it, but I'll do the rest. I like to try to do them about 1/8 of an inch, leaving at least 1/2 inch at the top uncut. Okay, so you're gonna just go across your whole thing, doing about 1/8 of an inch cuts. If you like your tassels thicker, cut them 1/4 of an inch. There's no rules to this. As far as I know anyhow. I just do what I want to do for whatever I'm doing. So I just cut until you've cut the whole piece of paper. Now the reason I have this paper 12 inches long instead of the 8.5 that the other two are at is because this paper is much thinner than these. So I want my tassel to be a little fuller. So then what I do is just grab the paper along that top 1/2 inch and pull on it to get it to start curling for you. Now I have paper bead tools, and this is what I use to roll my tassels. If you don't have them, just like with the beads, you can use a skewer, or you can use a toothpick, or you can just do it by hand. Once you get it started, you just got to keep going and rolling it. And just keep going, trying to keep the top as even as possible and keeping your paper as tight as possible. And it works perfectly fine. You can see that. See the top of that? So you don't need fancy tools. You just have to take your time and try to get it even. So I'll start with this one and start rolling it. And try to keep that paper even at the top. And what I like to do every now and again, and you don't have to do this either, but I like to. Of course, this isn't. I have to take my pretty bead stopper there. I like to put a little bit of, it's because I pulled the wrong glue. It's that darn Tombow glue. I don't like it. This is my art glitter glue. I put a little strip of it just to hold some of the paper because I don't want it coming apart once I've got this all rolled up. And just keep rolling and do your best, like I said, to keep it even, which I'm not doing, which is not good. But keep rolling until you get to the end. And the thickness of the paper and the length of the paper is all up to you. It's all what you want. So if you're making a tiny tassel, you want less paper. You probably want a thinner paper so it's not so heavy. If you're putting it on a big journal or something like that, you probably want it to be a little heavier. And just keep rolling. This is a long one. 12 inches is longer than what I'm used to working with. And just keep going till you get to the end. And when you get to the end, I'm getting tangled up here. And of course you want to glue it when you get to the end. So put a good amount of glue there so it doesn't come apart once you get to the end. And that's it. Your tassels rolls up. Take it off of whatever you're rolling it with, or if you're rolling it by hand, awesome. This is not the prettiest. But that's what your tassel looks like. You can curl the ends if you want to have it sticking up a little bit, or straight if you prefer it straight. Then you have the top. What are you going to do with the top? You can put glue on the top and dip it into glitter to cover the top. I like to use a bead spacer. It just adds a little pretty to the top. See how that looks? So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue and add a bead spacer to the top. Just gives it a little finished look. Press that down good. So that looks like that. And then I'm going to take an eye pin, and if you don't have eye pins and you have wire, if I can find it, there's lots of tutorials on how to make them out of wire, and I'm not very good at it at all. That's why I buy them. And I decided to put a little piece of bling on here, but let's see what I have, what colors I have here. I have this little box of beads. I think this color blue will be perfect for this. So what I'm going to do now is put more glue, try to get just a little bit of hot glue in the top so you can get that pin and eye pin to stay perfectly. Get those. And there you go. And then what I usually do is find some washi tape I might like. And since I did this in silver, I think I'll just do a plain silver on this one. And I like to wrap the top. That little 1/2 inch space that you have left, I like to wrap that in washi tape. So it's a little bit different from the rest. And it just adds a little something to the top. Now you can put foil paper, a different color paper. It doesn't have to be washi tape. Just whatever you like to finish the top of your tassel. And that's all there is to it. And your tassel is finished. And with this, you have the little eye pin, so you can put a jump ring on there and attach it to anything, or add more beads if you like. However you'd want to decorate it. It's easy to do. So we'll take, this is the one we did by hand. This came out a little uneven right here, so I'm just going to clip that off. And that happened when I was pushing the pin in. Okay, so we'll do this purple one. Just get your paper to curl a little bit, just makes it a little bit easier to work it. And start rolling. And again, you want it to try to keep that paper on top as even as possible. After you've gone a little ways, add a little glue to hold it in place, because if this starts unraveling and you have to start all over again, not fun. So this will help to keep it in place. So if you should lose control of it, it'll only unravel to the glue up until where you have the glue. So just keep rolling. Just like as if you were making a paper bead, except it's a tassel. This paper's a little thicker than the one I just did, so it's a little tighter to roll, but not difficult. Not difficult at all. Just watch the little fringe, because it's easy for it to get tangled up. And just bring it and finish it like that. Hold it for a second. Take it off of whatever you're using to make it. So this one's a little bit smaller, not quite as long, but you can do them any size you like. If you're lucky enough to have something like a Cricut where you can have it cut out, that's awesome, because it saves a lot of work, but it really didn't take me very long to cut this one by hand. And that was longer. So let me find another spacer to put on top of here. And an eye pin. And some people are really, really fussy about everything has to match. I don't care. I just put what I like. And if I mix the gold and the silver and the brass, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. So I'm just putting a little glue on top to put this little spacer in, just to dress the top up a little bit. Center it as well as you can. Have my eye pin and a little gold bead, because I'm going to finish this one off in gold. And I don't think I had beads on yours, Tammy, and that's because I didn't have beads at the time. I just got these the other day, actually. I'll put that in there. And give it a chance to dry. And there you go. And you have another little tassel. And that's as easy as it is. This one I'm going to put some gold washi around it. Like I said, if you have gold foil paper, that would be really pretty, or some kind of shimmer paper would be really pretty. Just cut a thin strip of it and put it on there. And I'm just wrapping that washi as close to the edge as possible. There we go. And there we go. There's our little tassel. A little bead on top. So that's how I make mine. I hope you found this informative. Let me know if this helped. And I hope you make some tassels. They're easy and they're fun and they add a really nice decoration to so many different things. Thank you for watching. If you like it and you haven't subscribed, please do so by hitting that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you all later. Love yous. Bye.